corporate had been working on the work from home, at least for the past 2 years. Now, quite a few companies try to figure out the next version of their workplace post-COVID, such as managing a hybrid workplace and BYOD and optimizations and of network and security. Recently, digital transformations, including IoT and cloud transitions, has seen increased adoptions. Networking and security are being forced to adapt to rapid changing environment. So as we embrace cloud application already, we must keep in mind that the paradigm has already shifted. For example, cloud infrastructures and apps are continuously updated, evolving, and innovating. New threats and advanced attacks kept emerging every day. And to address the challenges, cloud-delivered security, or SASE, Zero Trust Networking were introduced. We also have an innovative solution called dynamic segmentations to keep up with the Zero Trust security demands. So in addition, let me share that kind of security challenges we are seeing in the market. In this IoT and cloud era, you no longer close your networks to users and devices. To keep up with business demands, your network is required to be very flexible and open. However, there are challenges to overcome. So firstly, increasing network complexity also increase security risk. Secondly, these diverse sets of users and devices create new entry points for potential security incidents. Plus, IoT enables new use cases, business outcomes, and operational efficiency. However, those IoT is a major security risk as these devices often lack built-in security. Devices are quickly expanding and can be very difficult to secure. Finally, legacy infrastructure is not meeting the needs of users in the cloud-first world. To address the network security challenges, Aruba offers a powerful framework and developed solutions to meet market needs across the platform. That is Aruba ESP, Edge Service Platform. So what is the edge? Edge is a network where people and devices are connected to. Aruba focusing on the edge, plus extending the capability to the cloud. As briefly explained, like edge brings a whole new set of challenges to your network. It's even worse by silo management across wired, wireless, and WAN. Visibility is degraded as infrastructure extends. So traditional network must change, and ideally networks should automatically identify problems and remediate them before they become really serious. So that's where Aruba Edge Service Platform comes in. Then Aruba has been working on the framework and the consolidations of solutions under ESP. So ESP defines connectivity layer and the protection layer security, you may call. On the top, Aruba defines AirOps to automate, orchestrate, and management. And the connectivity layer focus on the unified infrastructure to bring management and troubleshooting on a single platform. Today, my sessions, I'll be focusing on the security layers to edge to cloud security, addressing zero trust across the platform, including wired and wires, even Sd1. So zero trust security is modernized protections methods, address complexity and new attack factors of IoT. Okay, let me explain how we apply zero trust security by using our unified security platform. Then I'll brief you on how we extend it to our Sd1 product called Edge Connect. So here is Aruba zero trust approach with unified policy management of Clearpass. So phase one, first, it starts from visibility and profiling devices. You cannot protect what you can't really see. So phase two, and then it authenticates devices, verify the users all the time, then check postures, context, collect further information. Then it authorizes the user's access, providing appropriate privilege with user role. Then threat defense helps continuously monitor device status, catch user and device posture changes. It provides the ability to quickly enforce updated policy by reducing privileges or even quarantining. Lastly, this provides a closed loop to onboard devices or users or remove them quickly in the case of security events. Let me introduce our Clearpass device Insight as one of the Zero Trust security components. Do you know what devices are connected to your network? Do you know if all of your devices are secure? So enterprise network in a zero trust situations, which means we need to stay vigilant and continuously monitor all the connected devices. So Aruba addressing these challenges. First of all, we need to know what's going on in your network in order to improve the situations. Again, you cannot really secure or protect what you can't really see. So today's networks don't give sufficient information to understand all the connected devices. So Aruba Clearpass Device Insight provides visibility like this and to your network and leverage AI and machine learning techniques in order to categorize devices and also identify posture information, if it's a secure, still secure or not, like infected or that kind of information. Then it supports seamless integration with the authenticator of Clearpass policy managers. So it means policy applied, enforced according to the user role or posture informations. So here is unified authentication platform of Clearpass. This is a solution overview. So the authenticate this like Clearpass authenticate connected devices in unified wireless and wired networks. So Clearpass also gathers information from external components such as CPDI, Clearpass device, inside in-house solutions, or even third-party products. Clearpass decides a role to the users, enforce policy throughout the edge networks to the user. For example, we can provide IoT role to, in this case, security camera, because we don't really want a camera or IoT devices to access, for example, Facebook or Twitter or any other site like ordinary users do, just in case they are infected by malicious software or viruses. They could spread harmful traffic inside your network, and enforcing appropriate security policy and the least privilege is a key at the front end. So we are able to control connected devices and users in both wired, wireless in the same manner by using role-based security control, which can define flexible access risks. We enforce the same policy wherever users goes around inside the networks, so we enforce the same policy everywhere. So previously in traditional networks, you had to configure lots of VLANs and access risks in the switch port statically. It was VLAN centric, very painful when the device and the user needed to move. Users had to ask ID administrators to change the port setting, which may take days or weeks to be updated. So Zero Trust solution is now extended to Sd1 product, Edge Connect. In a global network, customers also struggle from managing device access across the Sd1 product or across the one network, dealing with lots of access risks, the VLANs associated with firewall or router interfaces. We have completed Zero Trust at the LAN level already, and we started implementing Zero Trust with role-based access across the Sd1 product as well. So customers take advantage of the benefit of role-based access, doesn't really rely on the network segment or VLAN any longer. So entity associated with a particular role is controlled by the role-based matrix like this. So administrator can isolate traffic by defining what role can access what role of devices. So we often see customers use Excel sheet to manage devices, and I was also helping customers deploying before, and so I had a really challenging experience in dealing with more than 100 of devices mapped to the switch ports or VLANs in the Excel sheet. It was a nightmare to change or manage the environment. So with Aruba's dynamic segmentations, administrator will maintain network security by simplifying configurations, hiding underlying complexity. So your network can accommodate changes more flexibly by decoupling security and VLANs or segment. That's applied to Sd1 now, here, like here. So how is a zero trust network segmentation working in practice? In this matrix, you can define security camera here cannot communicate with each other. I'm talking about the entire Sd1 fabric here, but camera can be anywhere, right? It can be everywhere across the Sd1 fabrics, but camera is able to communicate, reach out the surveillance system like this. This is very intuitive, and that configuration is like this always. Likewise, host system cannot talk to each other, but both can send data to transactional processing system. Why do you need this security in the Sd1 networks? So you generally need to take a layered security approach just in case other system fails to enforce security. Plus, you may have other like a non-intelligent switches, or instead you can use Sd1 zero trust security enforcement in this case. So besides access control, you can also do more granular forwarding control if you identify users' context. Let me explain that. Network routing used to be very statically configured. Sd1 routers technologies help flexibly steering the traffic now. With the authentication data integrations, Clearpass now able to feed the information such as user role, device type, username, or security postures. So traffic steering can be even more granular by using this. So Aruba Sd1 Edge Connect has embedded engine to classify application traffic. With that combined data combinations, Edge Connect policy engine can decide how to route your business applications to the destinations with appropriate security and decide how to optimize across the Sd1 network as well. In this example, Edge Connect Sd1 system gets information from authentication data such as employee something from Clearpass, as well as application traffic such as Salesforce, which is identified inside Sd1 itself. The policy engine leverages user identity information, then decide how the traffic should be forwarded and optimized and protected. Here it analyzes Salesforce traffic is critical for the users and the organizations, so it gives a special traffic protections with a critical QoS and the SLA objectives to provide the best circuit quality and bandwidth by using multiple backhauls. It also decides that traffic should be protected by the cloud security, therefore send the traffic to Zscaler before reaching SaaS Salesforce service. So Edge Connect Sd1 will use the attribute like this, such as this one Edge Connect, and such as role and postures for the device control rather than handling traffic based on the source VLAN or segment. So regardless of the device network segment, Edge Connect is able to flexibly control the device by assigning appropriate policy on a device basis. Okay, so let me show a bit of quick demo. So how like an image looks like. So this one is supposed to be, left one is IoT devices. And so basically our Edge Connect is managing devices like this. So now there are 7 appliances, and so beauty of this orchestrator. So Sd1 orchestrator number of like devices really doesn't matter. So single policy can be disseminated across a SD1 platform. So 7 devices of the configurations and the 1,000 device configurations are same for me. So this has the configuration like this. I can show that these configurations. So now what it explains the same metrics as I explained. Like users cannot access IoT, but the users can talk to each other. But the same IoT cannot reach the user. So it's a segregated. So I'm going to show like how it works. So again, so let me go back. So left one is IoT actually. So access can be anywhere, but if I access somewhere like an IoT server, let me show that. Like a IoT server is this one, then access here, then you can see IoT server. But if you can access the same things, of course it's blocked. So because this one is the users, but for example, I can access anywhere like Facebook or yahoo.com or anywhere, just like it's a free connected. So, but if you go back to the orchestrator, you will know it's being blocked. So now you're seeing that traffic is being blocked from here. Then I can filter out. So it manages the entire fabric. Like you can see the traffic is being blocked or not. Then you will see like a traffic is going okay, but you will see users try to reach out like an IoT segment is actually blocked because of the policy. So it doesn't like the policy is just violations, and the policy, or it could be role as well. The zone user cannot reach IoT. So again, this matrix-based configuration is easy and scalable. You can do the same things for the thousands of like SD1 routers, regardless of the topologies. It really doesn't matter. Like you can just prohibit that kind of relationship, more like you may call it intent based. Okay, let me go back to the presentation. So it's again, so segment VLANs or accessories, you don't really have to deal with it with that kind of complexity now. So next, I'll explain how we enhance security towards cloud-bound traffic with our SASE partners and what's unique about it. So if you look at the traditional security, that was delivered by the data center. There is a fortress built around the data center. In the old models, when all the apps were hosted inside the data center, you could secure it with a private lines such as MPLS connections and big firewall appliances, number of firewall or security appliances, perform all the security functions inside the hosted data center. All traffic had to be forwarded from branches or even remote accesses in some cases. But network security perimeters has been dissolving because apps move to the cloud as workers also access from the home, remote places outside the office. So SaaS applications such as Salesforce, Dropbox, and Office 365 and the IaaS such as AWS, Azure become very common. And the security models need to change. So direct access or local breakout is strongly recommended for those SaaS apps to enhance user experience. So maintaining a MPLS backhaul like this really doesn't make sense anymore. Then SASE, Secure Access Service Edge, or cloud security has gaining popularity by addressing these challenges. With the new model of SD1, direct access or local breakout is allowed along with the cloud security. So traffic is forwarded to the cloud security providers and from branches or even remote access work from home users. So here is a clarification of SASE. So there are some like misunderstanding or misinterpretations. Some say, does SASE replace SD1 or SASE? SD1 is not needed any longer? The answer is no. SD1 is a foundational component of SASE framework. SASE introduced by Gardner created confusion first, but the Gardner has recently clarified it as SASE comprises two different technologies, like one edge infrastructures here and security service edge. You may call it just cloud security, or you may call it just advanced SD1. So the one edge technologies includes SD1 routing and zone-based firewall. It may also include advanced capabilities such as UTM segmentations, WAN optimizations. But basically, the aim for this is a thin edge. You don't really want to have the big appliance here. But cloud delivered security or SSE includes SWAG, secure web gateway, firewall as a service, IDS, IPS, antivirus, and malware detections or ZTNA, VPN as a service, DLP, sandbox, CASB, DDoS solutions, all sorts of security can be computed in the cloud. Gartner also suggested enterprise can use two or more vendors to implement SASE architectures into the enterprise environment. You don't have to be one, and then can be more flexible. So here is how SD1 works in practice. So SD1 is able to steer traffic based on the applications. So how do we intelligently steer traffic? So first, this is SD1. SD1 needs to identify applications. So it can apply the right quality of service, right priority, and the right security enforcement. We have a real-time database bringing applications information from various sources, such as a Microsoft database via APIs. So Edge Connect is Office 365 certified for SD1 categories by Microsoft. That's a big differentiator. Our SD1 identify applications on a very fast packet and accurately steer traffic. So how can we maintain security in this scenario? So some enterprise applications are still hosted in the data center. There are a bunch of data center like appliances here. So steer apps hosted in the data center here, then security will be checked. We identify voice video apps, then steer trusted cloud hosts directly. That's because VoIP is most likely secure. And those apps like Office 365, Zoom, 8x8, Ring Central, they are categorized as a unified communication as a service, UCaaS. So we identify less trusted, untrusted apps in the hosted cloud, or could be just a SaaS applications like could be Facebook or something. In that case, we can steer untrusted app to the cloud delivered security service, such as Zscaler and Netscope, could be McAfee. So what outcome do we get by SD1 implementations with security, cloud security? So if you look at the benefit of the business, improved application response time, because the users reaching apps that are closer to them and they have a lower delay. You can also remove super expensive MPLS. But most importantly, you can transform your security architectures by introducing cloud security, by removing expensive standalone UTM security boxes, appliances from the data center and the branches. So how do we deliver a secure architecture in a new WAN environment? So first, SASE integration will be implemented with our cloud security partners, such as Netscope, Zscaler, McAfee, or Symantec, or even Palo Alto. So Aruba Edge can add these services easily, deploy it with those leading vendors across your large global network in minutes with almost no manual intervention, simply through drag and drop policies and API integrations. So we are working with all sorts of security partners to make this possible to allow customers to add the next generations of cloud security to their network. Second is, as I explained, so delivering zero trust based segmentations using row or zone over the overlay VPN network. I'm not discussing single standalone router or firewall across the Sd1 network, Sd1 fabric. So cloud is an extension of the secure segmentation inside the Sd1 network. So we can deliver full end-to-end zero trust based segmentations easily. To summarize, inside the network provides dynamic segmentations. Outside, we can rely on the cloud security. So network towards internet, we are able to offer SASE integrations with intelligent steering. So thirdly, it's done through the visual security policy I already explained. So in this case, actual going to the right into the orchestrator I did for the SD1 management. In a visual standpoint, security policy look like what networks can talk to what networks, like a metric relationship, and the orchestrator then immediately disseminate the policy across the entire network, hundreds of thousands of devices, you can do that. So what is good about this? So customer don't need to worry about configuring site by site. So it's easy to set up from a single console. So we provide advanced SD1 capability to provide the network segmentations and SASE integrations. Okay, so let me get back to the console. So let me show the UI as well. So go back to the IoT device, and this one is the users. So now I emphasize like easy to configure and drag and drop. So first of all, like this one is a bit may sounds easy, but actually we do the subscriptions with the Zscaler. Then Zscaler is connected. Then configuration is done. Like basically just applying this one immediately, then forms the IPsec tunnel. Still, I need to choose which appliance you want to apply the Zscaler, but automatically find the Zscaler point of presence, Zscaler's data center, and closest your branch. Then configuration is done. Super secure because you don't have to deal with the kind of IPsec like a password or sharing with other colleagues type of things that will be avoided. So configuration is done for this Zscaler. Netscope, other kind of like a cloud security also working on this. And then next, right? Then already is like a tens of like IPsec is already formed. Then next is what you want to protect, right? Then that's now what I configure the high security IoT. I want to protect IoT. Then what should I do? And then I just select the Zscaler like this. Oh, then Zscaler will be the priority. You can choose Netscope as well, or as a backup, or some like regions you may have the Zscaler Netscope only. Then this one will also work. And then ordinary users, non-IoT ordinary user gonna use a Netscope like this. Then configuration is done. So only drag and drop and automations take care of the kind of cloud integrations, and other companies you may have to deal with a lot of configuration, but it's not our case. It's quite simple. Then it's already start working. Then IoT. So IoT like users, it's a bit the comparison, right? I can of course do that Twitter, right? But IoT is now protected by the Zscaler. So Zscaler detected IoT device should not access social network, right? Then it's a policy violations. So it should access a right like a destination. Even you may allow IoT devices to go to internet for the patch download or software download, but this kind of strange behavior will be monitored, and policy is already configured that way. Then let's work on that. But of course, the user also doesn't have that kind of flexibility. I want to do the gamble during the daytime, but of course that's also prohibited. But what you are seeing is already like that kind of different UI, but same things. For this, I configured that way, right? Now, for ordinary users, Netscope will be taking care of the security, while IoT is taken care by the Zscaler. That kind of innovation will continuously happen. Like cloud security evolves continuously. That kind of like a new emerging providers good at a specific like a segment will show up. Then SD1 should have that kind of accommodate that kind of like a flexibility to accommodate the different vendors. So we provide that kind of like a framework to accommodate the different vendors and fit in and replace or exceptions. Still, we can fully leverage, enjoy the cloud securities like a capability. Of course, if I'll show you that later, Office 65, for the Office 65 traffic, I'm doing a local breakout. No one is inserting security in this case. Probably if I show that quickly, then you will see. So in this case, I can see the flow, right? So then if I point out only here, I will have the better visibility and get rid of this. So if you see like Office 365 traffic, it says pass-through. Pass-through is a meaning local breakout. But you will see that kind of like this one is a destination, colorful destination. Sometimes it goes to Zscaler. Sometimes it goes to, if you scroll down, yeah, a lot of traffic actually going on. NSK is Netscope. So depending on the traffic and depending on the user's like a role, you can flexibly steer traffic to the different destinations. So that's a flexibility of this platform. So again, it provides the really strong security. Just I'm demonstrating actually for the ACAS. This is an emulated anti-malware test file is located here. Then try to download like this ACAS file. Yeah, yes, good. And so Zscaler is working for the protecting IoT traffic. Also, users accessing here. Of course, Netscope also had a good capability to protect and inspecting, actually, both inspecting zip file, meaning content-based checking, by using actually decrypting traffic as well. So that flexibility it provides, and also again I explained easy actually easy drag and drop, and you can provide that kind of flexibility to other new innovations as well. Let me wrap up today's sessions. So in summary, a variety of traffic steering policy will be enforced and implemented like this. The overall message here is transform your security model to cloud-based security at your own pace. You can't really avoid cloud security, in my opinion, and allow for variation as well. So no matter what stage your process, your customer is on the way of digital transformation journey, it's very easy to facilitate to migrate the strategies and by using Aruba solutions. So migration is extremely easy here because it accommodates a lot of variations and the flexibility. Again, that's because Aruba is never take all or nothing approach. No vendor lock-in. It's flexibly and flexible and open. It gives options to migrate different cloud applications, cloud platform, site types at your own pace. Let me highlight the traffic flow and how like a traffic is protected here. So I did the demonstration today, and first one is zero trust inside the SD-WAN fabric. So direct local breakout, or it could be inside the LAN network, but go through the SD-WAN fabric. So we can identify zone or row accurately, or we use multiple like sources. Then we can enforce that kind of like security policies with a simple metric-based configurations. And again, this one is needed because multi-layer zero trust security is really highly required. Next is number 2, so which is direct local breakout route. And for apps such as Office 365, we can accurately identify Office 365 traffic via Microsoft API and direct forward it to their Microsoft point of presence. And then number 3 is going back to the hub. This is kind of applications falling back like a legacy architecture, but still customer want to use their hosted data center, or may you want to have that kind of firewall inside. Number 4, so you may have that kind of central UTM behind the hub. Then you can still leverage the firewall engine. So again, the important part of here is accuracy of the traffic handling. Some SD-WAN routers or ordinary SD-WAN, maybe with a DPI base, may have a really poor traffic handling, cannot do this kind of accurate traffic forwarding. And then number 5, we can spin up actually virtual instance of the Edge Connect inside IR, such as Azure or AWS. Traffic is encrypted here. All the traffic from the branch to cloud provides enhanced user experience as well. It's a SD-WAN protected traffic, and traffic also accelerated actually for the hosted apps inside the data center or like a private data center or IRC. And then number 6 is a local breakout forwarding internet destined traffic. Then if you think it's untrusted, then you can leverage cloud security here. So again, the main point here is a complete flexibility with easy to manage or easy to configure in terms of how you migrate SD-WAN and how you transition security, which platform you bring. You can migrate at your own pace and also take various approaches for the cloud transitions. Okay, in summary, so we have introduced Zero Trust Edge to Cloud security across the platform. Specifically, we are working on the Zero Trust segmentation for unified infrastructures, including SD-WAN. We introduced role-based access to manage security and optimize SD-WAN traffic. In the unified branch security, we are able to enforce security controls such as advanced segmentations, role-based access, also UTM features across the SD-WAN platform. Last but not least, we closely work with the best of breed cloud security or SSE, such as Zscaler, Netscope, and so on. They are friendly with us rather than competing with them. So we provide full-fledged cloud security with them. And with that, customer will have the comprehensive security control from edge to cloud. Customer will enjoy freedom of choice with powerful cloud security applied or inside your SD-WAN fabric across their entire infrastructures. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I will check questions.